What's going on, Stim Junkies? High-Stim Ace here. Hope you all have an incredible High-Stim Sunday, and I do hope you guys are ready to start off the week on the right foot and crush it in whatever you guys decide to do for this week. Today, I have a product that just dropped from Huge Supplements about 2 weeks ago or so, and I've been sitting on it for about a week and a half at this point, and it's something that I've been using daily, and I've also been incorporating it into my workouts. So it's something that is very versatile, and I've had the powdered version in the past, I've had liquefied versions from different brands, but this one here is from Huge Supplements. And what we have here today, boys, what we're going to be reviewing is the Liquid L-Carnitine. And as you guys can see, this one does come with a pump. So you're going to pump this up and add it to whatever beverage of your choosing. And I'm telling you guys right now, this thing is super, super versatile. I add it to a bunch of different pre-workouts. I take this daily as a daily type of fat burner. We're going to talk about it. We're going to leave no stones unturned. We're going to discuss Liquid Carnitine from Huge Supplements. All right, guys, so before we get into the actual review, before we decide to break down the product and me telling you about it and what I think of the label and the effects in the real world, we have to address one little thing, and that is the background change. Now, obviously, if you guys look around, this isn't a high-stim studio, and the reason I'm recording from my living room is because my mom came to visit all the way from Poland. She's been staying here for the past couple of days, and that is why all her stuff right now is over in the high-stim studio, pretty much occupying the entire place. So it's a mix of Stim Junkie pre-workouts and a whole bunch of her stuff. So there's no way I can record in there. It's a mess. So we are going to be doing it today from the living room, and you guys can have a little bit of a change of scenery, something that really we don't get to see often on this channel. Now, with that being said, we are going to talk about the product here. So this here is the sour grape flavor, and I'm going to break down the label momentarily. I'll tell you what I think. They also do have it in a blue ras flavor. Now, as you can see, this one here is sealed. I haven't opened it yet, but you guys can see how it comes in when you're going to order it from the website. You got the plastic seal over here, you have the pump in here, and obviously you have the cap, which once you take off the plastic, you take off the cap, you're essentially going to take this component here, the pump, you're going to jam it in there gently. You don't want the liquid carnitine squirting all over you. That is not a good time, and we're going to talk about that momentarily as well. But this is how it's going to come in, and this is the blue ras flavor. I got to try the sour grape, which I kind of gravitated towards it because I've already had the Rect pre-workout in blue ras flavor, and I've also had the pump serum in blue ras flavor. So I kind of wanted to switch it up. I wanted to try that grape flavor, especially because the Rect and Rage they sent me recently also came in a cotton candy flavor, which really, to me, tasted a lot more like grape, if I'm being honest. So I kind of was vibing with the grape. Right off the bat, it tastes really, really good. Okay, so if you guys have ever had liquid L-Carnitine in the past, a lot of times it's gonna burn on the way down. Okay, it's gonna go down, it's gonna be a little sticky, but it's really gonna give you like a burn. And a lot of times I have to chase it down with a tum or two just to get rid of that effect. Luckily, no such issue. This tastes freaking delicious, albeit a little tart, which I'm okay with. And we're gonna talk after the label section. I'm gonna tell you exactly what I pair it with, how I like to use it, because I've been using it not just for training, but I've actually been taking it every single day. You could take this one at either 1 or 2 pumps. We're going to go over the dosages momentarily, but depending on that, you can either take it as a daily type of fat burner in the morning to kind of rev up your metabolism, or you can run it as a pre-workout, with a pre-workout, obviously, at 2 pumps. We're going to talk about it, guys. But before we do, let's go ahead and break down this label. All right, guys, so serving size is either 1 pump or 2 pumps, and depending on that, you're going to get either 60 or 30 servings, which is really great. Now, it says on here you shouldn't take more than 2 pumps a day, so if it's one of those days where I'm taking this in the morning and I take 1 pump to kind of get me going before I get to work, then in the evening, if I choose to pair this with a pre-workout, I will not be taking 2 pumps. I will only take 1 pump, all right? And on days that I skip the 1 pump dose in the morning, then I could take 2 pumps in the evening, because you're not supposed to take more than 2 pumps a day, just to be safe and be careful so you don't have any stomach issues or anything like that. But with that being said, we are going to read everything on here as it pertains to 2 pumps, because we always go by the maximum dosage here on the channel. you're getting L-Carnitine L-Tartrate at 3,000 milligrams. So that is more than the clinical dose. I do believe the clinical dose is 2 grams per day. This is 3 grams, so you're definitely going to feel the heat. It's going to help convert those fat cells and shuttle them and really use them as energy. It really kickstarts your metabolism. It's a proven ingredient, and this here is definitely the clinical dose. You're getting Mitoburn L-BAIBA, another really potent fat burner at 500 milligrams. Very nice dose on there. One of my favorite ingredients found in a lot of good quality thermogenic products, so I really like that one a lot. And lastly, and this one here is an amazing addition, you're getting GBB in here. You guys know about GBB, right? That is the thermogenic that is almost going to give you a stimulant-like effect where it kind of gets you a little hopped up. Now, I know certain people are very sensitive to GBB. Even if they take like 10, 20 milligrams, you know, they're getting hopped up and they're going to start sweating buckets. I can push it to 60 to 80 milligrams, heck, even 100. That is just me personally. And it isn't until I get to that 80 or 100 milligram dose where I'm going to be sweating like crazy. This one here, luckily, only gives you 25 milligrams, which is for 2 scoops, like I said earlier. So if you're taking this at 1 scoop in the morning as a thermogenic fat burner, you're going to be taking 12.5 milligrams, which is really not that crazy, unless you're super sensitive to it. But overall, very, very awesome label, very simple to the point, just 3 ingredients, and coming in all at clinical dosages. Before high-stim breaks down my experience running the huge Supplements L-Carnitine over the past week and a half, don't forget to like this video, comment below, share the channel with a fellow stim junkie or a pre-workout fat burner enthusiast, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Okay, boys, so as I mentioned earlier, this is a very flexible type of product, meaning you can run it as a daily fat burner. You can run it by combining it with a pre-workout or a fat burner, God forbid. Man, that's going to take any fat burner to the next level. But I will tell you what I like to do, because I actually used to run L-Carnitine in the past. I ran it for about 3 months in capsule format, and those capsules only had 750 milligrams in there. So I had to take 2 a day, sometimes 3, to really get the efficacious dose. So when it comes to capsules, I'm not such a big fan. I don't really notice as much. I don't know why that is. I guess you can kind of see a similarity when it comes to glycerol. If you're taking glycerol in powder format, whether it's in a pill or added in a pre-workout, it's not going to have the same effect as in liquid. Obviously, with the liquid, you can concentrate the dosages and really get those big efficacious dosages within the liquid, which also is easier to mix. You're not getting clumping issues. You don't have to worry about it expiring and whatnot. This is a very, very flexible type of product, which I really like. Now, I'm going to mention, speaking of the liquids, this thing is not thick like glycerol. If you guys ever had the huge Supplements Liquid Glycerol, it's obviously much thicker than this, almost like a watered down honey kind of consistency, if I can describe it in any way that makes sense. Now, this one here, obviously, I put in the pump, so all I got to do is push this thing down, and 1 pump is going to give you 1 serving. I weighed it out. It comes in exactly at the, 0.5 FL ounce dose, so they got it right on the money. Now, one little warning, because this happened to me by accident, the liquid in here is very liquidy. It's not thick, it's not syrupy, it has a regular water-like consistency. So make sure not to accidentally take this bottle here and tilt it over too much, because if you do, the liquid will just come straight out, okay? And there's no way to safeguard against that. I don't think there's anything they can actually put in here to prevent that from happening, but it did happen to me once. I was kind of moving a few things on the desk. I ended up tilting this over a little too much, and just a little bit of the liquid came out. So just be aware of that. This doesn't have a syrupy, thick type of consistency. It is liquidy. It's very liquidy. And if you put the cup up to it, whether it's your pre-workout or whatever you end up taking in the morning, make sure to not hold it too far, because this thing will squirt, it will spritz, and it will get everywhere if you're holding the cup down here, okay? So just make sure to hold the cup up, push it down, and you're not going to have any issues, okay? So that's just extra tips from high-stim when it comes to properly using this product here. Now, what I like to do every single morning is take a scoop of huge Supplements electrolytes, which I have right here. I haven't reviewed this product here because it really is just a mix of electrolytes. I figured there is really nothing on here I could say that would blow your minds, right? It's essentially a nice electrolyte blend, very light flavored, by the way, natural sweetness, not overly sweet. So very good product. You're also getting 45 servings in here per scoop, which is really, really great. 5-gram scoop, very, very light. So consider that the unofficial review for the electrolytes, okay? Great hydration formula. I take 1 scoop every single morning after my morning cup of coffee. And now that I have this liquid carnitine, I'm going to get a pump in there, mix it in, give me those thermogenic benefits so that way I can really get ready for work. I do bike to work every single day, about a 20-minute bike ride. So it does help a little bit with that focus, that intensity. Like I said, guys, the GBB, even at 12.5 milligrams for the one pump, it's still going to give you a nice little focused effect. So if I'm already having the coffee and now I'm staying hydrated with the electrolyte blend, right? So I'm hydrated, I'm a little hopped up on the caffeine, and now I have that thermogenic in me with the carnitine, with the GBB, with the L-BAIBA. So I am freaking ready to go. That 20-minute cardio session really wakes me up, gets me going, and really keeps me productive for the rest of the day. And obviously there's going to be fat burning properties. It does boost your metabolism and whatnot. So I've ran this one for like a week and a half straight. I actually only took 1 day off in the past week and a half running this one because I wanted to test it with the pre-workout later at night at 2 scoops. Okay, so that's why I took 1 day off, and this way I get to test it out properly because I have standards, guys. I have standards. Now, when it comes to combining this with a pre-workout, I'm going to tell you some of my favorite combinations. Obviously, if you have the Rect pre-workout, which is one of my favorite top shelf, top tier daily driver plus type of products. By the way, spoiler alert, it will definitely make it on one of my lists in the end of the year. That's coming up next month. We're going to have a lot of lists on this channel. Everybody's favorite time of year when we have lists. This here is an amazing freaking pre-workout. I don't care that they remove the Araya or whatever. This is one of the best pre-workouts I could take every single day. It always hits. It always makes me push, gives me endurance, and pretty much every other athletic benefit you could think of. So you're taking this at the full dose, 2 scoops, because that's how we always do it on the channel. By the way, Panther's blood flavor, freaking amazing. Probably one of the best flavors I ever had when it comes to tiger's blood. This is Panther's blood, okay? But I'm rambling. You're going to add 1 or 2 scoops. I added 2 because, again, this is the high-stim channel. And 2 scoops of 2 pumps. I'm so used to saying scoops. 2 pumps of the L-Carnitine combined with 2 scoops of Huge Supplements Rect. This is such an amazing experience, guys. It is perfectly balanced. There's only 1 milligram of alpha-yo in here, albeit 98% purity, so it kicks a little harder. But those thermogenics, man, they're going to push this thing to the next level. You're going to be hopped up, but in a good way. You're not going to be too overstimulated where you're shaking and you're cracked out and you're tweaking. Nothing like that, guys. Super clean, amazing experience. It's going to enhance the feeling of the caffeine. It's going to enhance the nootropics in the package, because that's just how thermogenics work for me personally. I don't know if it works for you guys the same way, but let me know in the comments down below, guys. Let me know if when you take a thermogenic and it has GBB in it, do you feel like it kind of enhances the effectiveness of the stimulants? Let me know, guys, because that's how it always works for me. Now, we're going to talk about another pre-workout. This is the Rect Enraged, which I did review. This is actually their limited edition cursed cotton candy flavor. I do believe you could still pick it up on the website. I'm going to link it down below with the discount code in the end of the video. But this one here, you guys know if you watched my review, which I'm assuming you did, at 2 scoops, this thing is intense, okay? At 2 scoops, this is essentially a stim junkie, high stim Saturday type of pre-workout. Not something you want to run at 6 o'clock in the evening after you're coming home from work, okay? However, at 1 scoop, this thing to me is something between a super strong daily driver and a medium stim, semi-illicit feeling pre-workout. That's at 1 scoop. Okay, this thing is freaking strong. 3 milligrams of alpha-yo at 98% purity. So this thing is going to kick your ass. So you take this at 1 scoop and you add 1 pump, not 2 pumps, okay? 1 pump of the L-Carnitine. It's going to really take things to the next level, all right? If you're crazy, you could do the 2 scoops and another scoop, or rather a pump. I keep saying scoops. You're going to take a pump of the L-Carnitine with 2 scoops, but that's only if you're a crazy stim junkie that alpha-yo has no effect on, all right? So that is another option. And lastly, guys, if you are training non-stim, whether it's late at night, whether you just don't want to be hopped up, you do have the pump serum option, okay? This is a fully comprehensive non-stim pre-workout. I reviewed this one, gave it a great review. It has everything in here from nootropics to strength output ingredients and obviously pumps and performance benefits. So pretty much everything except for the stimulants. You take yourself your 2 scoops, the full clinical dose, add 1 or 2 pumps of the L-Carnitine, and you're good to go. So as you can see, guys, this is a very versatile product. It can be used in numerous ways. I just gave you a couple of the ways that I like to use it personally, paired with Huge Supplements' other products. So definitely check this one out. It's fairly priced. It's not expensive at all, and you're getting a lot of servings, okay? So if you guys want to pick one of these up, these are the 2 flavors that come included at the moment. You can head over to hugesupplements.com. Use discount code ACE10 at checkout. It will save you 10% off your entire order and help support the high-stim YouTube channel. I do believe it's also available on NutriCartel.com using discount code ACE15. And in general, any of the products that you saw me demonstrate right now, whether it's Rect Enrage, Pump Serum, or Magnify, or whatever other Huge Supplements products you want, HugeSupplements.com, discount code ACE10. And that's it, guys. That is the review. I hope you enjoyed it. Once again, if you found this review beneficial and enjoyable, or if you just enjoyed the change of scenery, don't forget to give high-stim a big like. It helps the algorithm. Comment below. Let me know if you're a fan of L-Carnitine. Do you like the powder, the liquid version? What do you think of this particular label? Is this something you would consider adding to your stack? Let me know, guys, down below in the comments. Follow me on Instagram at high-stim, subscribe to the channel, hit the little bell to get all of high-stim latest updates, and I will see you all next time for the next high-stim pre-workout review. Take care, everybody. High-stim Ace, signing off.